Hey, this is Dave with TechDrawl. I'm here at the Castleberry Hill offices of Scoutmob. You've heard me talk at length about my frustration with all the B2B and SaaS startups in town and how nobody's ever doing cool stuff that's customer facing.
That's right.
So had to come talk to the Scoutmob guys. Clearly probably one of the hottest consumer facing brands in town. And we're here with Michael Tavani, co-founder of Scoutmob. So, Michael, thanks for inviting us over today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming out.
So, tell us a little bit about, as I said, you guys have got a pretty popular iPhone app, and if you say Scoutmob to kind of all the iPhone people I know, they're like, "Oh yeah, I got that."
Yeah. We've definitely we've gotten some feedback that people, some people say it's their favorite app on the phone because it saves them money. One of our lines that we use is that this is, you can buy an iPhone. Some people are like, all these other platforms, Android, and when are you doing a BlackBerry app? And we say you could buy an iPhone with the amount of money you save with our app. So in one day I used 6 deals, and I kind of averaged it out, and I saved about 120 bucks. So I was halfway almost towards a new iPhone. So yeah, it's been, from an iPhone perspective, it's been extremely popular.
You guys take a different tack with the website versus the phone. The website is much more of a Groupon type experience where I've got to actually opt into a deal.
That's right.
But the iPhone is really the kitchen sink of everything.
Yeah, so the iPhone is the best of. All of the goodness that we do is all on the iPhone. So, I mean, you go on right now and there's 50, 60 deals just sitting on the phone, and you didn't have to claim any of them. In fact, you could download the app today, never even hear about Scoutmob before, and you'd have all these deals sitting on there. And so all the goodness is there, and that's why all these other platforms, people who have these other phones are saying you got to come on our platform as well. But from a non-iPhone perspective, it's still extremely easy, and it's a little different than Groupon, or actually a lot different in the aspect that there's no upfront payment. So if you got today's great deal over email and you see that it was 50% off, let's say at the Grape and Vinings, all you have to do to claim the deal is not pay, not pull out your credit card, is to just claim the deal. And by claiming it, you put in either your cell phone number or your email, and it'll either text it to you or email you this deal where you can print out, and then you bring that in. So claiming it within a 24-hour period is free, and people can do it in 20 seconds. And then once you've claimed it, you have this deal sitting on your text message in your phone or in your email box, and then you just go into the business and show your text message. So it works the same way once you claim it. It's just that iPhone people don't have to claim anything. So yeah, we gave them all the goodness.
You guys originally were Skyblocks, which was, or still is, a wireless provider at retail. So your crew kind of had a whole bunch of cycles with retail and kind of knew what a lot of the thinking that was going on there before you tried this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we spent about a year and a half doing Skyblocks and really learning, what these business owners and these local merchants, what drives them spending money and what kind of excites them. And so we were able to see, what they needed, what they wanted, and kind of how the market was changing. And so we thought this was a huge opportunity to kind of do this, and so we remolded kind of last summer, and Scoutmob was kind of an outgrowth of Skyblocks. Yeah.
Very cool. So how many people do you employ in Atlanta now, and what's the trajectory look like?
Yeah, so we started off as just a couple of us early days with kind of Skyblocks and then Scoutmob, and then now it's probably. I don't know, it grows a little bit each day. It's probably 8 people full-time right now in Atlanta. And then we're right now actually, we have, one of the other team members is up in New York doing some interviewing, so we'll be hiring a few people in New York.
Recruiting by region?
Yeah, that's right.
By city?
Yep. And then to support new markets, we'll do all of the kind of the main stuff from the headquarters here. So we'll be doing, we'll still be doing some decent amount of kind of hiring here in Atlanta. So I imagine, after kind of a few cities, we'll probably have, around 15 total people.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so what, have any of the money guys come calling yet? Have you raised the specter of what it takes to raise cash?
Yeah, I mean, just to show the power of TechCrunch. So when we launched in Atlanta in January of 2010, the first day we were on TechCrunch. So there was a little article in TechCrunch about us, and that day 10 VCs emailed us just off of that article, which was crazy. And we were probably early at the time to even be starting any type of conversations with the VCs, and we still had a lot of blocking and tackling to do. What's interesting is when you do a consumer push like we have, you get a lot of VCs, or you get a lot of people who are consumers themselves who have used our app, and they're like, this is awesome. Oh, I'm also a VC. Like this company's doing some cool stuff. So we've gotten a lot of interest from people who say, I use this a lot. Actually, today, the Grape deal, the owner of the Grape is actually not necessarily a VC, but he's kind of a tech guy, and he was real interested in what we were doing. And he's a consumer, he's a merchant, and he's a kind of interested from a business perspective as well.
So that's interesting. You may have an even easier time of drawing strategic investments from somebody like Braving Brands, or somebody who has a bigger footprint, maybe a chain type place.
Right,
that
right.
Hey, we want to use you in a. Would you guys be open to a kind of white label, co-branded something?
Yeah, I
or
mean,
is it all about the Scoutmob brand?
It's, I mean, we definitely spent a lot of time on making the Scoutmob brand something that kind of people enjoyed using, and it was kind of a fun, quirky brand. I know we were talking a little earlier about MailChimp, and MailChimp was absolutely one of our kind of, companies that we looked up to as far as their brand. They have a quirky personality, and so we definitely worked hard on kind of making our brand similar to that. But so I think we would probably go down doing it our own path, but I think there's a lot of strategic partnerships that make sense in this space, and there's a lot of people that just want to get in front of our audience size now, and so there will be something eventually that we'll end up doing strategically. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So your current business kind of funds what it needs to, and no real need to raise money, so I would imagine you guys are just kind of sitting around waiting for the right terms and the right dollar amount, and somebody smart to come along.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're funded through at least a few markets more of growth, and then those few markets more start creating kind of more revenue coming in, and so they absolutely pay for themselves pretty quickly, the markets, which is exciting that you can create something that quickly and not rely on getting outside money, which especially as a small team, we learned a lot that anytime you have to raise some money, you're taking your eyes off of the prize, and you're spending a bunch of time trying to raise some money. So yeah, as much as we can, we'd like to go at it on our own. Obviously, at some point, if you really want to attack a bunch of markets and really want to scale, then you're going to need some outside money, and we realize that. So yeah, it's coming soon, but we're not quite there yet.
Awesome. Well, thanks for spending some time with us today. Again, this is Dave, and we've been here with the guys at Scoutmob talking about how to build a consumer company in Atlanta.